Hello and welcome to Greater Talks. Please don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe to my channel. Major League DJz is a two-man South African musical group created by twin brothers Bandile and Vanele Mere. The talented duo have made a name for themselves in the music industry with their diversified and distinctive DJing style, and have pioneered the way South African music is produced and received by the mainstream market. Their impressive discography includes hits like Sliza Tsotsi, The Business, Do Better, and Zulu Girls, and has seen them performing at sold-out events all around the world. Once considered as one of the founders of New Age Kwaito, Bandile and Vanele have since moved on from Kwaito and hopped onto the Amapiano bandwagon that is taking the world by storm. Since venturing into Amapiano and coining the term Amapiano to the world, the Amapiano DJz have released Amapiano tracks with the likes of Moonchild Sinelli, Focalistics, and Gabza De Small, which have seen them performing all around the world, elevating the Amapiano sound. In this video, I will delve into the talented duo's childhood, rise in the music industry, and the controversy surrounding their decision to switch genres from New Age Kwaito to Amapiano. Banele and Bandile Mere were born on the 3rd of January 1991 in Boston, Massachusetts in the United States of America. Their father, Agree Mbere, was a Xhosa South African man who lived in exile in the USA for 35 years. He was a member of the African National Congress and taught history at Roxbury Community College. Their mother, Musa Mbere, is a South African woman who lived in exile in the USA for 25 years, working as a social worker. The Mbere family relocated to South Africa at the end of apartheid in South Africa when Banele and Bandile were 4 years old. Upon their arrival in South Africa, the Mberes decided to settle in Sandton, an affluent area occurring in the north of Johannesburg. Their father, who was an avid lover of music and was best friends with the late legendary South African trumpeter Hugh Masekela, introduced his sons to music when he taught them how to play the piano. Gospel, jazz, R&B, and hip-hop are just some of the genres that were played incessantly in the Mbere household, marking the beginning of what would one day turn out into a illustrious passion for music and a career in the music industry. The Mere twins were dealt a hard blow in 2003 when their father, who was the ambassador of South Africa to Rwanda at the time, died suddenly from a heart attack while he was away on business. Life in the Mere household changed drastically as they not only lost the head of the house, but the primary breadwinner who was responsible for their affluent lives. Instead of letting this loss get to them for long, the young, hard-working duo drew on their musical passions, and in 2006, at the tender age of 15, started working as hosts for events and after-parties. They served as hosts of after-parties for famous artists including Fat Joe, 50 Cent, and Akon, among others. The musical duo, prompted by always struggling to find DJs to book for events they hosted, decided to learn how to DJ themselves, with Banele focusing on DJing and Bandile being the percussionist. Their music career took off after graduating from high school, when instead of going off to university, they opted to nurture their career and decided to call themselves Major League. Major League got to work with well-established South African DJs early on in their careers, including the likes of DJ Fresh, Euphonic, Roger Good, DJ Trauma, DJ Drama, and DJ Woo Kid. Their American upbringing is evident in their earlier sets, which were characterized by a lot of hip-hop tracks with some infusions of house music. Wanting to further their careers beyond South Africa's borders, the ambitious pair recognized the gap that existed in the global music market for an authentically South African sound. In an interview with Kaslam, the Mbege brothers spoke about how, having started off as hip-hop DJs, they soon came to realize that they would never be able to sell themselves to the international community by using hip-hop, a genre that was already big and well-established in America. Instead, they decided to adopt a new sound called New Age Kwaito. New Age Kwaito is characterized by the incorporation of Kwaito into the modern urban culture of music, with Major League's interpretation of the genre characterized by incorporating Kwaito with hip-hop, resulting in the hit track Sliza Tsotsi, featuring Ricky Rick and Casper Nyovest, which caused a frenzy in South Africa. The Sliza Tsotsi hitmakers cemented their prominence in the South African music industry with this new sound, resulting in a string of brand deals with prominent South African brands, including Skull Candy headphone ambassadorship, New Balance brand ambassadorship, and a deal with KFC for the usage of their single Sliza Tsotsi. At the peak of their New Age Kwaito era, the Major League DJz started Major League Gardens, a hip-hop and house outdoor musical festival event created by the Major League DJz, which saw artists like award-winning American-Nigerian Afropop singer Davido, local rappers Casper Nyovest and OK Malum Cool Cat, and the late rapper Ricky Rick performing. The popularity of the festival made them household names in South Africa. While New Age Kwaito was all the craze in South Africa, the sound just never took off into the international music scene as much as they thought it would. Determined not to give up on one day playing a role in exporting an authentically South African sound, the Zulu Girls hitmakers looked to a new and emerging sound to adopt and work to commercialize. That sound was Amapiano, a style of music that first emerged in South Africa in 2012 and is a hybrid of deep house, jazz, and lounge music characterized by synths, airy pads, and a wide percussive bass lines. Switching to Amapiano came easy to the DJ and percussionist who weren't strangers to switching music genres over the course of their career. The talented duo switch to Amapiano from New Age Kwaito was not received too well by the public at first. Upon releasing their first Amapiano track, Bagwala, in December 2021, many people took to social media to share their dissatisfaction on the duo's decision to suddenly drop New Age Kwaito and jump onto the Amapiano bandwagon that had been gaining momentum in South Africa's music industry. Their detractors expressed how they were generally getting tired of South African artists trying to cash in on the Amapiano wave, and how the genre was being saturated with the high numbers of Amapiano songs being released. Others came from Major League directly, asking them why they feel the need to switch genres so frequently, pointing to the fact that over the course of their career, the duo had already done hip-hop, house, and kwaito. People on Twitter were more brutal, stating that the duo was ruining Amapiano and that they were cancelling them. Speaking to Kapi via FaceTime on Apple Music radio show Africa Now, the Amapiano duo addressed the backlash, stating that while the reception they received from Amapiano fans was generally negative and hostile at first, they knew they had to push ahead with switching to Amapiano because firstly, they noticed how well the public was receiving this genre of music, not only in South Africa, but internationally as well. And secondly, since lockdown in South Africa, their finances were impacted negatively with the loss of income from their music festivals, which generated a huge portion of their income. So they knew they had to look beyond the negative and push ahead until people warm up to them, as Amapiano was what they needed, not just for financial gain, but to potentially break into the international music scene, as they'd been trying to do so since the start of their careers. Their persistence is finally paying off because the international music community appears to be warming up to the duo's music much better than at home. Since coining the term piano to the world and taking advantage of their connections in the music industry, the Amapiano duo have managed to place themselves in a prime position to lead the Amapiano movement outside the borders of South Africa. They have just signed a major deal with New York-based label Atlantic Records, the home of superstars such as Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Cardi B, Burna Boy, and many more big names in the music industry. They were recently announced as nominees for the Best International Act Award for the upcoming BET Awards set to take place in LA. They've toured Africa, Europe, and more recently had the opportunity to perform at Coachella, one of the world's biggest music and arts festivals. Their global impact with this genre is quite evident, with one of the more recent and significant developments being the recognition of Amapiano, which was previously confused with Afropop as a genre in its own right on the American online music platform Beatport. Well, there you have it. Wishing the Dinaledi nothing but success on their journey to take Amapiano to the world. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.